Oh, hello there, and welcome to Samuel Studios. Yes, I know, that sounds so professional. Guys, you see what happened is, I've been wanting to open a content creation. This is not gonna go well. Guys, soundproofing has not been done yet. Let's get that out of the way right off the bat. I'm not gonna stop the whole time when we hear Frankie in the background walking up and down, because this is now his walking time. Because that's gonna take forever. So whatever you hear in the background, no you didn't. No, you didn't hear that. Anyway, I've been wanting to open a content creation studio for literal years, and I let small things keep me from doing that. You know, small things like not having money, not having space, not having time. And then in January of this year, which is 2025, I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. What's the worst that can happen? I fail, I go broke, I'm broke already.
Bankruptcy!
Anyway, so the plan was I got the space at the beginning of February, which is a difficult word to say in English. And the plan was I was going to open up officially on the 1st of March. Today is the 11th of April. And I'm very proud to announce that I've done 3 things. Anyway, so in this first episode, I am going to show you guys what I've done up until this point, which is the 11th of April. Yes, 11th of April. And then we'll do a part 2, maybe a part 3, depending on how long it takes to get the planks up and running. So that's a lot. Also, that is my book. I didn't put it there in order to promote myself. It just happened to be there by accident. Alright, the next thing I did, well, first of all, before this, where I'm talking to you now, you must have seen the footage of me showing you what the place looked like when it was empty. That is scheduled in before this, of where I'm talking to you now. You get it. Anyway, the first thing I did, just in order to make me feel like I'm accomplishing something, was setting up this backdrop. Now, this isn't a great backdrop. It's a cheapy one that I own, but I thought I'm going to set it up because visualization, and other words,
Imagination.
that is motivational. So I set it up. I took footage of it because I'm a professional. I took the footage in portrait, not in landscape, and that wasn't done by mistake. It was done on purpose. And throughout this documentary, you're going to see me making that production choice.
No, God!
On purpose.
No!
Multiple times.
No!
It wasn't an accident. Stop looking at me like that. Anyway, so insert here the process of me setting up this thing. I went to the Kruger National Park last year for the first time ever. When I was a young warthog. Akuna Matata. Akuna Matata. Okay, bye. Because I am not in fact well traveled. That's not true. I've been to Pretoria and Joburg. I lived in George also for a year. But anyway, this isn't about me. It is about me. This whole documentary is about me. That makes me sound narcissistic, but I'm not.
Oh, brother!
Let's move on to my story. I went to the Kruger National Park for the very first time last year for my dad's birthday. We went to Nyati Bush Lodge, I think. If I got the name wrong, we will put it on the screen here, but I think that's the name. And the owners of this place, Michelle and Bram, I'm sure I have those names right. And I was taking photos just with my phone, and then Bram said, no, you can borrow my camera to take pictures in the Kruger National Park. And I borrowed his camera. And guys, I don't want to talk nonsense here, but call National Geographic, because those pictures were gorgeous.
Nice.
Was it the camera or was it me? It's probably a combination. Because when I take nice pictures and someone says, oh, that's a nice camera, I'm like, what am I? Chopped meat, chopped liver, chopped horse, what's the saying? Whatever. No? I will insert here the pictures that I took. Okay, so we are back. That is the pictures that I took. And that was the day that I fell in love with Nikon, or whatever you want to call it.
Nikon.
Because the camera that I used, you guessed that, it was a Nikon. It was, what was the name? D100. Is that a camera? Because I think that was the name. It was a Nikon D100. I don't know what the lens was on top of it, but obviously one that can zoom far. And I was like, yeah, imagine having that camera. And when I opened the studio, I was starting to think, what if I partnered with a camera brand? But specifically, I want to partner with Nikon because of that camera. Also because of my grandfather's camera, which is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And which makes me sound like a boomer because I'm like, they don't make them like this anymore. So, when you look at it, it's gorgeous. Also, harsh. Everything is so black and white and rubbish. You remember when cars were colourful, cars were big, things playing in dance, and I had little pictures from top of it. Now everyone's just that. That is it for my boomer rant.
We're a generation of doers.
Not whiners.
Anyway, this is one of my favorite possessions on earth because it's gorgeous, and also it belonged to my grandfather and it's sentimental. And then I have my cool pics, which
it fits in the palm of my hand.
Anyway, so I was like, okay, I want to work with Nikon and nobody else. I reached out to Nikon and nobody else. I put my proverbial eggs into one basket. And you're not going to believe this. It worked. I was as shocked as you are. So
Nikon
came back to me and they were like, Sami, we see your vision. We would love to work with you. Yes. And I was like, are you sure? No. And then I got at my camera. So this is the Nikon Z6 II. Yes, 2, not double I. Which I didn't initially thought that was what it stands for. And then somewhere on the table, I think over there, is the Nikon Z30, which is amazing for videography. So this is now where Samuel Studios is getting started. Because standing like so, that I just elevated from, oh, who's she, to her. That is a photographer lady. Anyway, so that is my way of saying that Nikon is a proud partner of Samuel Studios. And I'm sure they're not regretting that decision at all. You know, guys, a big part of being a strong, independent businesswoman, lady, man is learning how to overcome obstacles. For example, one of the big obstacles I had to overcome as I opened Samuel Studios was getting Wi-Fi installed. Now this was a massive headache, which took so long, but I didn't sit and cry a lot about it. I decided I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna be productive. While I wait for the Wi-Fi to be installed, I will keep myself busy with some important administrative stuff. You know, do what needs to be done. That is today's top tip. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Sami, we're rolling.
Hi, I'm Sami. I'm not exhausted at all. Anyway, the next sponsor of Samuel Studios that I want to tell you about is Promac Paints. If you've guys been following along, you must have seen Promac Paints by now. I mean, they came here with the bucky with the ducks that was scattered on top of it. And Jimmy brought my paints. And I know you guys saw that because everyone was like, oh my word, we love Jimmy. Jimmy is the best. As if it's Jimmy's page. I'm not better or anything. Anyway, as the name would suggest, Promac Paints does paint.
Well, duh.
And it's basically like a liquid that you take and then you put it on top of walls. And then it makes the color of the wall be another color. Like this wall was different before. And then Paul and I painted it. And now it looks like this. Also, the Promac rubber duck is my best friend. I love that duck with my whole heart. That duck isn't ruining my life at all. Who did this? Alright, you remember that blind? This blind. This blind. That blind. This blind. Well, that blind was put it inside of my studio by R&C Trading. This makes such a big difference. I'm not going to talk nonsense to you. First of all, the fact that there's other people in general continues to be a headache.
That's my opinion!
So I don't want people looking at me. When I film, I feel awkward because just think about it for a second. Just think about what I do for a living. Not that I'm complaining, but it's like this is the Nikon Z6 II. That is a weird thing to do for a living. And now you have to do that while other people are looking at you and judging you because you just know they are. You know they are. So I was like, I don't want people looking into my window and being like, the youth of today. I'm not a youth, am I? Anyway, this isn't about me. This is about blinds. R&C Trading came to put in my blinds, which is block-out blinds, meaning no light enters. And natural light is good for your gemoed. But when you want to control light when filming, you don't want the bewolkheid and your lighting keeps changing based on the weather. That is insane talk. You want to put your light and it shines the same the whole time. I know, I'm getting technical. Guys, as you can imagine, being a boss lady is sometimes overwhelming. It is important that we always take time for self-care. Of the tension in your shoulders and the passive-aggressive WhatsApp from your contractor, affirm with me, I am calm, I am capable, I am only slightly behind schedule, I attract abundance and functioning. Plug point, say it with me now, I deserve nice things. Even if the budget says plastic chair, my aura says velvet throne. You are grounded. You are inspired. You are not crying in the bathroom. You are cleansing your soul. Now return to the present moment and remember, if all else fails, glue gun it and manifest the rest. Namaste. Or, as we say in the studio setup land, nah, I'll stay, but only because the delivery guy finally showed up. As you may have seen on the social medias, I got my crafter's dream from Modular cupboards in Bronkhorstspruit. Now, this shelving was specifically made for Sami, who is me. So over here, we start off with my boxes that contains stuff. And then we move into this section over here. This contains OK Boy, trademarked. And then here is my Cricut mug press and my heat press business. That is my printer, which can also slide out like such. Isn't that cool? In the shelves over here, we have papers and then Cricut vinyl, you know, things that's important.
A few moments later.
Over here, we have other stuff. This is pens. All of this is markers. I have a problem. I love a marker. Then we have my stickers. That is my camera from Nikon. My Cricut. Yeah, isn't it beautiful? And then paint. I'm gonna show you guys up close. Come close. I'm gonna show you what is in my drawers. Over here, we have pens. Over here, pens. You're not gonna believe it, but over here, pens and highlighters. Pens. Pencils. Anyway, thank you Modular Cupboards in Bronkhorstspruit for coming on board as a brand partner for Sami Studios. There was a beeping sound in the background, but we're going to pretend that we didn't hear it. And if you actually didn't hear it, well, good for you. And this is my island. I love my island. Guys, literally, I cannot say the word Sami Studios before mentioning SimplyBiz, because without them, this would have not been possible. Let's be very for real. If you are an OG follower, you've seen the name before. SimplyBiz is basically a platform on the interwebs where you go to their website, whether you are a NetBank client or not, and there is tons of free resources for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And you know, they've been a friend to the Sami for many, many years. I highly suggest you go and register. It's free. It's gratis. For you, for need. Ma'ala. I can't think of another way to say it. But I just want to take this little moment to say thank you to SimplyBiz for being a proud partner. Well, I'm saying proud partner. I'm assuming you're proud. I hope so. I would be. I'm lovely. Anyway, thank you, SimplyBiz, for coming on board. And you guys need to watch this space because there's a lot of fun things coming. And Sami and SimplyBiz are going to see how many small businesses we can help elevate this year. Oh, hello. As you can possibly tell, this part of the documentary is not professionally filmed by the person who did the other filming. Well, the professional parts at least. And that is because I am in Cape Town and I'm filming the outro myself. Which is fine. It'll probably look good. If you hear anything in the background, no, you don't. That's all I have to say. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching the first episode of setting up Sami Hall Studios. I'm so excited for this journey. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of the sponsors and partners and brands that came on board to make this dream a possibility. I appreciate you guys so much. And I can't wait to see what magic we are going to create here in Sami Hall Studios. I'm saying here in Sami Hall Studios, but we are at the moment not in Sami Hall Studios. We are in Grand West Hotel, which is lovely, by the way. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thank you for watching the video. Remember to like and subscribe and keep your eyes peeled. Is that the saying? I think so. For future episodes. All right. Thank you for coming. Okay, bye. And cut. There's no one there. I'm supposed to stop it. Bye.